Good afternoon, everyone. SBG Active Aussie here on this Friday afternoon. It's about 5 p.m. I usually don't make videos this late, but I've been a little bit sick, had a stomach bug, so it's been a bit uncomfortable. I'm just recovering, and I've been out this afternoon doing a few things and just thought I'd stop off and make this video on the way home. I came across a channel recently by a young fellow called Josh, and he has a channel called Purpose Over Pleasure. And in the past, he had a problem with addiction to massage parlors and escorts. And as you know, in the past, I've been a supporter of escort maxing to some degree, but I do think in regard to some men, it can have negative consequences if it becomes an addiction, and it does become an addiction for some men, just like how people become addicted to drugs, become alcoholics, etc. And in Josh's most recent videos, he's an American guy, by the way, he talked about how there are more massage shops in the USA than there are McDonald's outlets. So there are about 15,500 McDonald's stores, and there are about 32,700 massage shops. And he came up with this number because of a website he looked at where men leave reviews, and there are over 30,000 reviews of different massage shops. And even here in Brisbane, I've noticed there are heaps and heaps of these massage shops, and a lot of them offer the so-called happy endings. Just last week, I was driving through a suburb here in Brisbane called Capalaba, and within 1.5 kilometres, I saw 4 or 5 of these massage shops. That's just in one suburb. So it gives you an idea of how many of them there must be in large Western cities. And although I agree with some of the things Josh says, I feel that he does not address the cause of why these massage shops and escorts in general are so popular, and that is because of the rampant hypergamy that exists in today's so-called modern society. So it's okay for someone like Josh to say to young men, oh, just don't use these massage shops, don't use escorts. But you have these young guys with a strong sex drive, their hormones are raging, and for many average young men, average looking men, they have no outlet for their sexual desires, their sexual drive. I feel this is a very big problem, and I don't really know what the solution is. Some guys would say, oh, just become a MGTOW monk. I just feel that's not realistic for large numbers of men. And like I've said before, I know many guys in MGTOW are anti-escorting. They wouldn't go to escorts or go to massage parlors. But I feel for especially a lot of young men, they may feel there is no other choice. I think for a lot of young men, if they want to avoid falling into an addiction to escort trap, they have to have different types of interests, try to keep themselves occupied, fill their time doing other things, I suppose, besides thinking about women and thinking about sex. Maybe that's easier said than done, but I feel there are not many people talking about this. So I give Josh some credit for bringing up this topic, because I feel that it's something that really does need to be discussed nowadays. I know that prostitution and escorts have always been around, but it's more relevant to talk about this nowadays because many men, young men, have less and less options available to them. And although I think MGTOW is the way to go, a lot of young men still have the very strong sexual urges, like I said before, and how they go about managing that, I'm not exactly sure. So maybe some of you guys listening have a few ideas, opinions in regard to this. I feel that channels like Josh's channel, though, could devolve into just another type of PUA, oh, just improve yourself, bro, one of those self-improvement type channels, which I feel are basically useless because you have the men doing everything they can to improve themselves, and they're doing it for women, but at the same time, the women are doing nothing to improve themselves, most of them, and they get validation just because they exist. So for Western men nowadays, especially in the 20 to 30-year-old age bracket, I find it very hard to offer them advice apart from just saving your money, no dating, just try and avoid contact with women in general. Unless you have a good relationship with your mother, your sister, a few relatives, I think that's okay. But generally speaking, dating is a waste of time and money, and it's better off not to have a girlfriend because it's just a lot of stress. So this is sort of advice for blue pill guys, but in regard to the sexual aspect, there isn't really an answer to that, I feel. And this might be an embarrassing topic for some men, but it needs to be brought out into the open. Just let me know how you feel about this. I really think we need to discuss it a lot more than it's being discussed at the moment. So let me know how you feel, tell me what's on your mind, and I'll talk to you later.